So I'm developing a function for checking the given number is prime or not. I created by saying public void check prime int n. Now here it comes. N is what a number which has been passed toward this function, and this function will be displaying whether a given number is prime or not. How can I find a given number is prime or not? If it is only divisible by 1 and itself, not by any other number. So I would like to count how many numbers are dividing this given number. I take one variable, simple variable as f equal to 0, or I can say int count equal to 0. Then I am starting with the for loop saying for int I equal to 1 till I is less than n by 2, n by 2, I plus plus. Inside this for loop, that means if suppose the number is given as 10, then I will be starting from 1 up to 2.5, it is 2, up to 5, sorry. A number is given at 10, I am going from 1 up to what? 5. Number is given as 100, I am going from 1 up to 50, half of the given number. So here I say if the number is divided. So I am not starting with 1 because 1 is number which divides every number. So count I am giving it as 0 only. So here I check if the given number n mod I is equal to 0. If this is the case, that means the value of I is dividing n fully. Then I try to increase the count by 1, that is count plus plus, and I use just simple statement as break. Further, after the for loop, I check if the count value is greater than 0. The count value is what? Greater than 0. That means there is some other number from 2 to the half of the given number is dividing the given number. If that is the case, then what to be done? It should be shown as this is not a prime number. So I write console dot write line, not a prime number, and else I mention console dot write line prime number. So my check prime function has also been completed now. Let's see the third question. Third question is testing the vowels in the given string. Test for vowels. Vowels, you know that A, E, I, O, U. So test for vowels is just a vague thing is given to us. That means it might be possible this user will be passing a character and the function will be checking whether a given character is a vowel or not. So let's work with the same way. So I'm writing public void test vowels. So I'm giving the name of this function as a test v and accepting the character value C. Let's see what I'm doing inside this particular function is quite easy. If C value is equal to A or C value is equal to AE or C value is equal to I or C value is equal to AEIOU O or C value is equal to U. If this is the case, that means it is a vowel. So write console dot write line. Okay, testing for vowels. And else I'm writing console dot write line, not a vowel. But I had only checked the small letters. I had not checked the capital letters because when I'm passing the character, I will see to it that I will be passing only the small letters towards the function. So unnecessarily, I don't require to write the capital A and small a and capital E and small e. Third function has also been completed. Now I require to use a for each loop with arrays. So it means a function need to accept the array and need to display the value of an array by using the for each loop. For each is a special loop used for the sake of collections. Sorry. So here it comes. I'm writing public void show array and accepting the integer array. Inside A, I'm going to accept the values and I'm just using a for each loop. So I'm using for each x in A. Sorry. Int x in A. That means the elements of A one by one they are getting passed towards what here x. from the first element up to the last element. And then I'm displaying the value by saying console.writeLine x. So array A's values will be passed towards the x from the 0 element up to the last element. Fine. Now the next program is reversing the number and finding the sum of digit of a given number. They're quite easy. So I write it over here by saying public void show reverse sum int x. Reversing the number, you know that the logic is mod by 10 and divide by 10. What is mod by 10 and divided by 10? I will just explain you once again. If suppose you are confused, if the value of x is going to be 123, then if I specify y equal to x mod 10, so x divided by 10, the answer will be 12.3. So the y will be what? Reminder, no? So it will be 3. And if I say z equal to x divided by 10, if x is z is integer, then it is going to be 12. So I can get a reminder, I can get the values appropriately into it. So let us try to work out with the same logic as mod by 10 and divide by 10. I would like to display the reverse as well as the sum of the given number. So I give the variable name as rev equal to 0, which will be holding the reverse, as well as I am saying sum equal to 0, which will be storing the sum. And I am declaring one variable as reminder is also going to be 0. So let's start with one by one. So I'm writing while the value of x is above 0, what to be done? It's quite easy. I'm just writing reminder equal to x mod 10. So I'm holding the reminder. Then providing sum equal to sum plus reminder. So I get reminder. Then I say reverse equal to reverse into 10 plus reminder. So after this while loop, I will be getting the reverse also, as well as, okay, one more thing is required, that is x equal to x divided by 10. And I'm displaying the value of reverse and displaying the value of reminder by saying console.writeLine reverse rev as well as console.writeLine reminder, sum of digits, and here I provide plus sum. I just help you to understand this logic once again. I am taking how many variables? I am taking the variables called the maybe x, accepting the value, rev, reverse, sum, and reminder. These are numbers which are there. If I am passing the value as 145 and the starting value of reverse will be 0, sum will be 0, reminder will be 0. Let's try to do the dry run till the time the value of x is above 0. Currently the value of x is what? Above 0. What to be done? Reminder equal to x mod 10. Reminder equal to x mod 10. What is the value of x? 145. 145 mod 10 will be 5. Next, sum equal to sum plus reminder. What is the value of sum? 0. 0 plus 5 will be what? 5. Reverse equal to reverse into 10 plus reminder. Reverse is what? 0. 0 into 10. 0 plus 5. 5. And it says x equal to x divided by 10. It is integer, no? So 145 divided by 10 will be 14.5, but the answer integer only will be 14. So after the first iteration, I get this value. Whether the value of x is above 0. Yes, the value of x is what? Above 0. So reminder equal to what? X mod 10. X is what? 14. 14 mod 10. The remainder will be 4. Sum equal to sum plus reminder. Sum equal to sum plus reminder. That is going to be 5 plus 4. That will be 9. Reverse equal to reverse into 10 plus reminder. Reverse currently is 5. 5 into 10, 50. 50 plus 4, 54. And x equal to x divided by 10. It will be 1 over here now. Then, is it a value of x is above 0? Yes, the value of x is what? Above 0. If the value of x is above 0, then again go inside a loop. Reminder equal to x mod 10. So, reminder will be over here as 1. Sum equal to sum plus reminder. That is going to be 9 plus 1. It will be 10. Reverse equal to reverse into 10 plus reminder. Reverse is what? 54. 54 into 10. 540. 540 plus 1. 541. And x equal to x divided by 10. It will be 0 over here. Whether the value of x is above 0? No. So you come out from the loop. You come out from the loop, display the reverse as 541. Display the sum, that is 10. So this is how this program is being executed. Now I need to call these all functions inside a main. I can use the switch case also and ask the choice to the user what you would like to do it. It will be a bigger program, so I will be just displaying the values. I created one main method by saying static void main string args and would like to call all these functions of a class named as practical 1D, right? So practical 1D. So for calling these all function, I need to create an object of the practical 1D. So I created an object by saying practical 1D P1 equal to new practical 1D object is created, and I call the function that is going to be check prime display passing the number as 456. Then P1 dot I just say show Fibonacci series, and here I'm passing I want maybe 6 Fibonacci numbers. Maybe after displaying the values I am just putting one star mark so I can understand the differentiation of the output. I will not get confused in output. After Fibonacci, I would like to display whether the reverse and prime. So I'm writing it like console dot prime is over, Fibonacci series is over. Now I'm creating an object. Okay. After Fibonacci series, again I'm putting one decorative line, console dot write line. This is just to differentiate the output. I'm writing P1 dot show array, and I'm passing the array. Maybe saying new end. This is the anonymous array which I'm passing. That means I'm not giving the name to the array. So this is what an anonymous array. That means the array has been passed, but I have not declared and specified the name into it. But this array has been passed towards the array name called as A. Now again, for a small output break, I had used. Now I am writing P1 dot. What is the another one? Is the last one called as the show reverse sum, passing 154. So okay, my program is over. Now let's see the output. So I run the program, but you know that it will be displaying that student wala program. Reason is what? We are not changed the startup object. So I need to change the startup object first. So I'm going to Solution Explorer, going to the project, going towards its properties. Here I'm using Practical 1D. You know that if it has not been displayed, don't worry. Just close the solution, open the solution once again. Open the solution once again. And now I'm setting the startup object as 1D. I run the program. And please see the output. The number given by us is not a prime number. This is the Fibonacci series. This is the array element values, reverse value, as well as sum of digits. So this is what a practical 1D. Let's see in the next videos practical 2.